Just announced. Princess Leonor and HRH Christian's historic royal wedding live from Denmark 2025. It's a moment the world never expected to witness this soon, a royal love story that has quietly blossomed behind palace walls and now unfolds in full glory before billions of eyes. For years, Princess Leonor of Spain has carried the weight of a nation, duty, discipline, destiny. And yet, today, in the heart of Copenhagen, that same young woman stands not just as a future queen, but as a bride, radiant, brave, and in love. But here's the twist no one saw coming. This isn't just another royal wedding. This union between Spain's crown princess and Denmark's young Prince Christian marks the merging of two powerful monarchies in a way history has never seen before. And beneath the polished smiles, there are whispers of old rivalries, family tension, and unspoken royal sacrifices. Because behind the pageantry lies a secret, one that's now reshaping the very idea of modern royalty. So how did this love story begin? What really happened behind the royal curtains that led to today, this breathtaking day when Europe's youngest heirs to two thrones said yes to forever? Let's begin where it all started. 1. The beginning, a hidden connection. The story traces back to years ago, when Princess Leonor and Prince Christian were barely more than teenagers, both raised under the blinding light of expectation. Two royal heirs. Two different nations. But one shared truth. The struggle of growing up where every move is watched, every smile analyzed, every friendship speculated upon. At the time, few knew that Spain's future queen and Denmark's crown prince met quietly through royal youth gatherings, small, carefully managed events meant to bond the next generation of European royals. It was there, during a summer in Oslo, that Leonor first met Christian. Witnesses recall it as something almost cinematic, a brief encounter that seemed insignificant then, but years later, would turn into destiny. They were both shy, polite, reserved, products of regal upbringing. But what connected them wasn't duty, it was empathy. They understood each other in a way only royal heirs could. Their friendship grew, subtle, discreet, hidden beneath the radar of tabloids and royal watchers. Letters turned into video calls, quiet visits during official exchanges, and eventually, something deeper began to bloom. 2. A love hidden in plain sight. As Leonor began her training at the Spanish military academy, following in the footsteps of her father, King Felipe VI, Christian was preparing for his own royal responsibilities in Denmark. And yet, even amid their duties, they found time for each other. Not through grand gestures, but through the small things, handwritten notes, private calls, brief visits during state events. Royal insiders later revealed that Queen Letizia and Crown Princess Mary, both strong, modern women, were aware of the connection early on. They saw something genuine, something different. Still, both families knew the risks. A relationship between two future monarchs wasn't just romance, it was geopolitics. It could alter alliances, traditions, even royal succession lines. So for years, they kept it private, nurturing it away from the public eye, away from speculation, until the time was right. And that time, as fate would have it, arrived in 2025. 3. The announcement that shook Europe. The world woke up one spring morning to breaking headlines. Just announced, Princess Leonor of Spain and HRH Prince Christian of Denmark are engaged. Spain celebrated with tears of joy. Denmark erupted in pride. But in the midst of the celebration, whispers grew louder, about royal politics, about tradition, about whether the future Queen of Spain could truly unite her destiny with Denmark's future king. It wasn't just a wedding announcement. It was a declaration, a bold message that the new generation of royals was rewriting the rules. For Leonor, it was also personal. She had always been the symbol of a modern monarchy, educated, independent, unafraid to speak with warmth and authenticity. And now, by marrying for love, not politics, she was making a statement to her people: royalty can still be human. 4. Behind the palace walls, the family reactions. Every royal fairy tale has its storm, and this one was no different. Sources close to Zarzuela Palace whispered that while King Felipe was proud, he worried about the strain on Spain's royal line. Queen Letizia, ever the protective mother, was said to have mixed feelings. She admired Christian but feared the pressure Leonor would face merging into another royal culture. In Denmark, Queen Mary and Crown Prince Frederick welcomed Leonor with grace, calling her a light to the future. But even within Amalienborg Palace, there were quiet debates. What would this mean for Denmark's monarchy? For protocol? For tradition? Yet through it all, Leonor and Christian remained steady. Their relationship wasn't about politics or power, it was about partnership. And when they appeared together for the first time in public after the announcement, walking hand in hand at a joint royal engagement in Madrid, the crowd erupted. Cameras flashed, flags waved, and for a brief moment, it felt as if Europe's future had united right before everyone's eyes. 5. The royal wedding, a day that changed everything. Then came October 2025. Copenhagen was transformed into a living fairy tale, streets lined with flags from Spain and Denmark, royal carriages gleaming under autumn sunlight, and crowds stretching as far as the eye could see. The ceremony took place in Copenhagen Cathedral, the same historic venue where generations of Danish monarchs have wed. Inside, dignitaries from across the world gathered: King Felipe and Queen Letizia of Spain, Queen Margrethe II, Prince William and Princess Catherine, even representatives from Norway, Sweden, and the Netherlands. But all eyes were on Leonor as she stepped out of her carriage. Her gown, an elegant blend of Spanish craftsmanship and Danish design, shimmered like morning light. The veil, embroidered with the royal emblems of both nations, symbolized unity. As the music swelled, Christian looked at her, and for a heartbeat, centuries of royal tradition seemed to stand still. Their vows were heartfelt, modern, and deeply personal. No rehearsed speeches, no rigid formalities, just two young royals promising to love, to serve, and to lead together. When they exchanged rings, crafted from gold mined in Spain and Danish silver, it wasn't just symbolic. It was history. The applause that followed echoed far beyond the cathedral. Spain wept. Denmark rejoiced. The world watched as Europe's newest royal couple sealed a chapter no one will ever forget. 6. The aftermath, a new era of royals. But what happens after the fairy tale kiss? Royal analysts now say this wedding marks the dawn of a new royal generation, one built on connection, not ceremony. Leonor and Christian have already announced plans to split their time between Madrid and Copenhagen, supporting education, climate, and youth empowerment across Europe. Their first joint appearance as husband and wife, a state banquet hosted by both royal families, became a moment of global fascination. Gone were the stiff formalities of old Europe. Instead, they laughed, they danced, they spoke to young guests as equals. And perhaps that's what makes their story so powerful. Because while their crowns may be inherited, their legacy will be earned, not through tradition, but through love, service, and humanity. 7. The legacy, what this means for the world. In Spain, Leonor's popularity has soared. Young people see her not as a distant royal figure, but as someone real, someone who dared to love beyond borders. In Denmark, Christian is being hailed as the most modern crown prince the nation has ever known. Together, they symbolize hope, not just for monarchy, but for the future of Europe. A future where leadership is built on unity, empathy, and courage. And as they begin their journey as husband and wife, one can't help but wonder, what will this new royal chapter bring? A united Spain and Denmark. A reimagined Europe led by a generation that values people over power. Or perhaps, a reminder that even in the highest castles, love remains the most powerful crown of all. So as the carriages roll away, and the world exhales after a day of royal magic, one truth stands clear. Princess Leonor of Spain and Prince Christian of Denmark have rewritten history, not through politics or power, but through something far more timeless. Love. And in that love, they've given a new meaning to what royalty truly is, not perfection, but devotion, not distance, but connection. This isn't just a royal wedding. It's the beginning of a legacy, one the world will remember for generations. Because sometimes, even in the most guarded palaces, fairy tales are real.